Hello, everyone. My name is Joe Mancuso, and I'm sitting here with Wendy L. Gordon and the legendary Jeanne Trevor. I feel very privileged to be here with these ladies, who are, in my mind, both legendary in St. Louis. Wendy puts together a series called the Jazz Heaven series, where she does 1 or 2 shows a year commemorating and memorializing people who have passed on from the genre. And Jeanne and I have been fortunate enough to be on a bunch of those shows.
Yes.
And that's kind of how we formed a bond over the years. And Jeanne, I remember hearing your name even when I was a little kid.
Wow.
Yeah. Before I even knew what jazz was. Because my dad was a police officer, and his beat was in the Gaslight Square district for a while.
Oh.
And he used to tell me stories about, like Jeanne Lynn and other, Gaslight type characters. And he mentioned your name several times because you were down there singing, right?
Yeah, I got invited there and I stayed, made a home of it.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Where were you, where'd you come from, and where was your first, gigs in St. Louis?
Well, I was living in Los Angeles with a relative because I wanted to try out for parts, as extras or whatever in movies. And I had a very famous cousin who was a good pianist and a singer, and I would sit in with him where he worked out in Malibu. And I met a St. Louisan by the name of Bob Reagan, who was a drummer with the We Three Trio. And he said, we have a new area known as Gaslight Square. And they always take people who they feel are talented. You don't have to have any background, like you were famous before coming there.
Oh, okay.
And the Crystal Palace was the highlight of acts that are somewhat famous now.
But you had talent.
Oh.
Big talent.
You have talent.
Oh.
What year was that?
That was in the early 60s,
Oh, okay.
like 64,
Wow.
65.
I was born in '66. Not to brag.
Are you young enough to... Yeah.
You're going to get in trouble with
So my dad was working the beat down there like 65. Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
I was young.
I gotta learn what not to say. So what was one of the first clubs you played at? You said the
It was
Crystal Palace?
No, not. Eventually, I sat in there, but
Yeah.
no, I was at a place called the Vanity Fair, and there was a little sort of, I don't say it was a hole, but it was a hole in the wall place.
Yeah.
And it was Pat's something. It was just a little tavern, and then after you finished there, you'd go and look at all the bigwigs on the real Gaslight Square thing.
I see.
And I sat in a few times, and I got hired by a couple of ladies that owned a nice club, the Vanity Fair, right across from the Crystal Palace.
So that was kind of mid-'60s you came to St. Louis.
Yeah.
And Wendy, you're a St. Louisan, right? You were
Right.
born and raised here,
Born
just
and
like me.
raised.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where was like one of your first gigs, or how'd you get started?
Well, really, it's ironic because I started with karaoke.
Oh yeah.
Right, and I just got hooked. I always enjoyed singing. I always followed bands and stuff. I love music. And I met Mae Wheeler because she was putting together a show of people who have won the contest from the karaoke, and I was one of the ones who had won. And from there, she put me on the show out in Westport. I think it was in 1999. I forget. The Westport Playhouse. I think they're torn it down now with the revolving
Oh
stage.
yeah.
And it was like, I thought I was gonna pass out totally. But from there, she gave me my start. I would say as a professional.
Yeah. And you've gone on. I don't know. I kind of get the sense that maybe you were kind of like Mae's protege. I mean, you kind of learned a lot from her, I would imagine, right?
Yeah. They used to say I was her pet. I would put it like this: May was a businesswoman,
Yeah.
and she was an entertainer, but she was more of a businesswoman than she entertained. I had worked at the post office, so I had the opportunity to sell more tickets. So I think that's what made it.
Oh, okay.
But but I think we just had some kind of bond. I think she did really take on to me because eventually she got a grant and to help new and upcoming artists, and I was one of the ones she had a grant to mentor. We had several sessions, but not as many as she would have liked because she started working. But about 8 or 9, where she would teach me, how to phrase and and different songs, and she would take me to the nursing homes, and I would sit in, and she showed me how to do. She put the show together and stuff like. And she taught me a lot of the business. She taught me more of the business. She says it's all about business. It's all about business. So she taught me more of that, I think, than the actual art of the music.
Right. So. Would it be safe to say that a lot of the May's audience, her fans, are the ones that come to your show, your Jazz Heaven series? A lot of those people? Yeah, because I also have a lot of the post office people come. Her daughter worked there also. Oh, okay. So, and they remember me from the show, and then a lot of the people that I have on the show have been on May's shows. So that draws in a lot of their fans as well. So. Well, speaking of shows, we have a show coming up February 29th at the Blue Strawberry. That's Jim Dolan's new cabaret music venue, and we're going to have Arthur Toney playing piano, and just us 3 singing songs that we love. That is February 29th. The Blue Strawberry, I believe it's 364 North Boyle. Yes. And 1 p.m. It's a brunch show, so we're going to have probably go to about maybe 1 to 3, somewhere in there. Maybe but you can get reservations, have brunch, have a nice show, and it's an intimate place, and I'm sure you'll see some familiar faces.
You could use the old wedding theme, something old, something new, the blues, and something borrowed.
It is also leap day, it's the extra day.
Oh,
yes. Yeah, something unusual.
Do we have to leap?
So I'm really looking forward to that. And as we sit here, that's only a week away. And then we've got some things coming up in the future too. I've got the Willie Aikens Festival. I got to make an announcement soon. I'll be playing at the Focal Point with Tracer and Erica Johnson. You guys got anything else you want to plug, or?
Yeah, I'm having a show at the Sheldon, benefit for Ms. Renee Smith on March 17th at 7 p.m. and 7 p.m. Yeah.
Renee Smith.
Renee Smith is a blues singer. She's going through a bad time right now. She's got cancer. She's a full-time cancer survivor, and this is it's a benefit for her. And some of her friends are going to pay tribute to her. They're going to be on the show, and she's I can't think of the whole lineup because it's a lot of people on the show that's not on the flyer at these times.
That's a Tuesday night, right?
Yeah, Eugene Johnson, Roland Johnson, Marty Abdul, Melissa Niels, and Laura Green. Laura Green.
Oh, wow. And then Wendy, Jeanne, sorry. I have a friend who said he would like to do a show with you, and so we'll need to talk to you, so we'll have another announcement to make if you'd like to do another show in the next couple of months.
Who is it?
It'll be my group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And That's weird. I'm kind of asking her on camera. We'll talk about it later, but
Oh boy,
there's
you
gonna be
got me
another one.
now.
But
So you can't say no.
That's right.
it'll be in the summer.
Oh, good.
But
Yeah, Dave Black.
so another thing is Wendy shared some photos of Jeannie.
Oh.
And I'm going to flash some of them up on the screen when I do the editing of this. So I'm going to pull them up on my phone here real quick.
Oh my God.
So there's these photos that
Oy.
Wendy found and she shared them with me. And I put them up on Facebook. And there's one, I'm wondering, is this Gaslight Square? It looks like you're standing in front of like a
Yes.
Polynesian place or
Yes.
a tiki bar or something.
Yes.
What is that?
It's called the
Islander?
Islander.
Okay.
Yes. Or the Mainlander? It was right across the street from the Black Horse where I worked at.
Across the street from the Black Horse.
And on the same side is the Vanity Fair where two ladies operated.
And then there's another one
Oh my
that's pretty
goodness.
cool.
Oh,
where
you
you're
got.
standing, it looks like a,
I keep that to remind myself, don't eat too much.
and you're wearing a black dress, you're holding like a, what would you call it?
A scarf.
A scarf,
Yeah.
making a pose.
Yeah.
When was that? Do you remember?
Oh, that was back in the 60s too, I think.
Really?
Oh, and closer toward the early 70s.
So
yeah.
mid-60s, early 70s?
Yeah, I was
late
pretty
60s.
skinny then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look nice, beautiful.
You're still skinny. You look great.
Oh, he knows what to say.
Trying to get a reprieve.
He's smart.
And then there's one of you sitting at the piano with somebody. Who is
That's
that?
Jim Becker. I worked with him for many, many years, and he's still a unique pianist that was down there. And Bobby Stout is another friend of his, a bass player.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know Bob Stuff.
They are
Yeah.
friends from childhood.
Jim Becker.
Yes.
Okay.
What a pianist. Mm-hmm.
Now, is that the one who played with you up the Brants? You had him up the Brants also when you was playing. That's not the same one. Okay.
No, it
All right.
isn't.
All right.
Boy.
And then here's one of you sitting
At Forest Park.
That's Forest Park. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Sitting on on a porch or a ledge.
Well, it's near the History Museum.
Okay. And it
Yeah.
says Jeanne Trevor and the St. Louis Jazz Quartet.
Well, they always were included, even though if they weren't being pictured with me because they had other gigs and I could show up.
So who was in the jazz quartet? Who were
Okay.
the players?
It was Jim Becker on piano, Bobby Stout
Okay.
on bass, piano bass, and drums was Gary Dinkelkamp.
Dinkelkamp.
Yeah, but
Dink.
he prefers.
Everybody call him Dink?
Gary Dink. Yeah, he saw on the back.
How did you remember that?
Remember Dinkelkamp.
I know he got teased in school with that name.
I'm sure they call him all kinds of things.
Yeah, he was a great drummer, I tell you. He's still.
But may I say something about that picture also?
Oh, yeah.
That picture is featured in what's his name? Dennis Osley's book.
Oh yeah, you're in Dennis Osmond's book.
Yeah, that's right.
And Dennis just moved to Arizona.
I did.
Oh, well, I'll be.
Yeah. And then there's a picture of you sitting on a couch. Looks like they're playing cards. You're with.
You know what? That's my house.
Oh, that's your house.
You said that were your neighbors, essentially.
Oh, those are your
Yeah,
neighbors.
yes,
Okay.
yes, they. Oh, for God's sake.
Oh well, I didn't know it was some other
But
musicians.
one on there is Kurt Flood.
Oh really? Oh, the one where you're standing up.
Here, right here.
Yeah. Where is that? Looks like the Chase or something, or a place, or there's a crest with axes and stuff behind you.
That's Kurt Flood? Oh,
Yes, it is, 'cause that's
that's
Kurt
a different angle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you remember where that was?
Wow. It's somewhere in my neighborhood, I'll tell you.
Anyway.
Because he lived across the street in those apartments.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. He lived for a while. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
So, Yeah.
Wow.
Some neat photos. Neat to see that.
Jeez.
Back in the day. I like the one where you're playing around in the living room too, where you're
Oh, that's my picture in the living room. Okay.
like dancing in the middle of the living room.
I wanted to dance, didn't have any rhythm. Believe it or not in the feet.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, thank you.
So, is there anything else you want to share with us? Anything new? Anything coming up?
I've got to ask the choir master. He always has something for us to do.
So you sing every Sunday in the choir?
Yeah, and in the choir at the 8:15 Mass. Yeah.
Oh yeah, where at?
Blessed Teresa of Calcutta, right there on Elizabeth.
Oh,
at
in Florissant?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ferguson, Florissant. Yeah.
Okay. Every Sunday?
Yeah, early.
Yeah.
Too early.
How early?
Well, the Mass is at 8:15.
Oh.
You'd love to see.
That's too early.
Once
I just woke up right before you got here. No, but that's
there
great.
are others. I'm not the cantor. Thank God, every Sunday I'm not the cantor.
You're not the cantor. No.
Because I have that foggy voice in the morning. It don't sound too melodic.
Yeah, whenever I have to get up and sing for I do some weddings and funerals, but the funerals that are early, I have to wake up about 2 hours before I have to sing because I could sing almost 2 or 3 notes below my range in the morning because
We sounded like Mike, huh?
literally, I have a different voice in the morning.
We have a beautiful Wendy voice. I always admired her because she could sing so rich.
But it's weird when I wake up and I get, I guess up to speed. I can't hit those notes the same way. And I think it's just I've always had like sinus issues.
Same here.
Same
here.
It's just different in the morning.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So I have to wake up a couple hours before a morning performance and actually warm up. If I'm just talking during the day and I have an evening performance, I really don't have to warm up because I'm warm.
Yeah.
I'm talking.
Yeah.
I guess it's like anything else. You got to warm it up. It's like the car.
Yeah. It's like warming up your car at 0 degrees in weather.
Because I turn it down an octave, like a half a step or something. I thought, no, that's the wrong key. But if it's warm,
It sounds good on you, Wendy. I'm trying to sing lower.
my low register. I said my Bear White impersonation.
You've got a rich voice, my dear.
Well, I guess that about wraps it up for this little interview. This is something.
It was fun.
This is something I'm going to start doing a series of.
You should.
I don't know what to call it yet, but it'll be up on my website.
Talking with Joe.
I don't know. Maybe we'll ask the audience what we should call it.
Send in.
Yeah. Well, when you turn it off, I got a lot of questions to ask because I want to do something about
Okay.
about
Yeah. Well, goodbye, everyone. Thanks for stopping in, and come see us at the Blue Strawberry, February 29th, 1 p.m. They're going to have a brunch. The show's going to be the 3 of us singing with Arthur Tony playing piano, and we're going to take turns, maybe do a couple of duets, and then we'll do a finale all together, maybe.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
And it's one of these shows where we're just going to go there and do what we love. It's kind of a spontaneous show, so it'll be fun in that way for us and for you, and it's intimate. We could, it's a nice space. Come to the Blue Strawberry, you'll really like it.
Yes, nice.
364 North Boyle, 63108. It's in the Central West End near the Gaslight Square district where you got your start.
Memories.
Yep. All right, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.